banging with the 42. The 42 goes down low. The 79 gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67, though, and Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Ferdiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down in the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Derek Welsh made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag. So here we go, final lap. Hello and welcome into some Monday Night Racing action, everybody, and welcome back to the Numb Thumbs Racing League as they come back from their little holiday break, and we're down to it here, just jumping right back in. Here we got our second to last race here for the season, racing for this championship at the new repaved Atlanta plate track racing, high speeds, high action here in store for everybody on track and out there in the YouTubes here tonight. So let's get this party all started and rumbling and stumbling here with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a huge thank you to the proud sponsors here of the NTRL, such as Davidson Builders up there in that northern New Jersey area, man. Be sure to go and check them on out if you're looking to maybe do a whole home remodel, putting on a little addition to the house, or just change out that kitchen sink. Be sure to get the professionals up there with Davidson Builders, so that way you get the job done and get it done right the first time. So big thank you to Davidson Builders. Big thank you as well to DEP Graphics. Some phenomenal paint schemes coming out of that garage each and every single day. So don't delay and get yourself a fantastic looking paint scheme for iRacing here from DEP Graphics. Big thank you as well to Sim Gear Central, who's got some great button boxes all made up for you, ready to get going with whatever sim you're playing. It could be farm sim, truck sim, flight sim, even the sims. Be sure to head on over to Sim Gear Central to get yourself a fancy new button box here today. Of course, big thank you as well to Track Bar Media. Some amazing photo and video edits of real life and sim life racing, as well as they got some merchandise and some gear over there for some of your favorite drivers. So be sure to head on over to Track Bar Media and see kind of what all the fuss is all about. And of course, big thank you to Martin Sports and their premium customized jerseys and sim race apparel, where, man, you can get some race gloves, some race shoes, even some team jerseys, so you guys look like an actual team out here for all this iRace and stuff. So be sure to head on over to Martin Sports to pick up some gear here today. As always, I am Alan Brown, and welcome into the show that has more screws loose than a Boeing 737 MAX. I am joined by my good friend and partner up here in the booth with me tonight, the brewmaster in general, Mr. Alan English, joining us here. And Alan, welcome back to some Xfinity racing here with the Numb Thumbs Racing League, and looking forward to having a fantastic time here tonight, man. Talk about trying to shake the rust off here in a hurry here at Atlanta. This crazy repave, making it essentially a plate track, and we're going to see a whole bunch of close racing tonight.
Yeah, man, a 1.5 mile track, but it runs like a plate track, as you mentioned there. Going to be a lot of really cool pack racing out here tonight. Draft is more important here in Atlanta than it ever has been before. And these cars really make the difference too. The Xfinity car is a low downforce car, high horsepower. It's going to be very reliant on the draft. So these guys are going to be trying to keep stacked up on top of one another. And passing might be a little bit difficult here tonight. We'll kind of have to wait and see, but this car and track combination is going to be exciting. It's going to be close quarters, and it's going to be dangerous out there. So hopefully all the drivers are on their P's and Q's out here tonight at this cool repaved 1.5 miles.
That indeed is down there on pit road, ready for all the anger and all the fights. This is our anger management specialist himself, Mr. Adam Turner, all locked in and loaded. Adam, second to last race of the season. We're going to be racing for a championship coming up next week over here at Michigan. But man, tonight it's a tough test for these drivers. I mean, the track isn't, it's smooth, but it isn't smooth, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's fast. I know that. It's dangerous. The front, man, I mean, that quad oval, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be a nightmare, especially in traffic. There's going to be some angry guys tonight, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping we get a fight. I'm hoping for the best. I think we're going to see a good race. Atlanta is, I think some of these guys love it. It's, the new super speedway, so to speak, the way they repaved it and put the banking in and all that stuff. So here's the deal. Crazy rules tonight. 1 fast repair, 65% fuel, 3 total sets of tires. So I'm thinking, the lap 40 and lap 80, that's when you're going to basically pit, right? I think slip it, cut it into thirds. 18 incident points, you get a penalty. 25 incident points disqualified. And here's the kicker. 126 degrees on the track, super hot, and only 3 sets of tires.
Whew, man, it would not be an Atlanta race if we weren't able to fry steak out there, out in the middle of turns 1 and 2. But nonetheless, let's take a look here at tonight's race info, where it is a sweltery day in the sim here tonight. So hopefully all these drivers got their fans on and got whatever coolant protection that they need. But otherwise, a beautiful shiny sky, no rain in the forecast whatsoever. So it's a beautiful day for some racing. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, and we've seen it a few times here, especially from Atlanta, man. You got to really time those runs. You don't want to get kind of caught up into a little bit of like a checkup situation, kind of the accordion effect you might see down into turn 1 at a road course or something like that. But you really got to time those runs and jump up to that outside when you get the chance.
Yeah, nothing hurts worse than when you got a really, really great run, and then somebody's in front of you, and you got to check up. And when you let off that accelerator at a plate track, it really does, like you say, accordion effect behind you. It really screws up all the racing behind you. So yeah, it's always trying to go where they ain't. When you get a really, really good run of momentum. And that drive's pulling you along. So hopefully these guys can handle it tonight and adapt to it.
But do they treat this one kind of like a Daytona where you just kind of maybe want to run in the back here? Or
that's exactly what I would be doing.
Yeah, I think I would too. At least maybe a second pack somewhere in there, as long as you stay with the main one. And we'll find out tonight.
And that indeed we will, and we'll find out here soon enough as the drivers start to head on down to their cars, qualify and finish on up. So let's tell everybody where their favorite driver is going to end up starting here tonight. And that gets us started off here with the 05 of PJ Cox getting pole position. He's going to have the 20 of Justin Lawson starting to his outside here. 98 of one of our friendly Canadians up to the north, Mr. Connor Leach, starting here tonight up there in third. Great starting spot to his outside. It's going to be the 2 of Jim Ott in fourth. Fifth is going to be the 3 of Skylar Harrod, having a good run there for Beer Money Racing. And to his outside will be the Mac Daddy himself, Mr. Mark Collins, driver of the 23 machine, starting tonight in sixth. Seventh will be the one-legged wonder of DW, Mr. Derek Welsh, starting tonight in seventh, with the 51 of Chris Klein to his outside here, starting in eighth. Ninth will be the ever-questioning man, the Tristan Trister Cotton in the 7 machine in ninth, with the 41 of Mr. President, Chris Gomes, rounding out your field starting top 10.
America's driver Albert Anderson starting in 11th place outside row number 6. Zeth Hawley in the 48 machine. 31 Scott Milner inside row number 7 to his outside. The triple O of Joe Bennett right there in 14th. 15th will be Paul Durkee in the 13. The 33 of Sean Roberts to his outside row number 8. Joseph Thompson in the 12 will start in 17th place. 18th Nick Biddy in the 32 machine. The 19 of Brandon Coleman starts in 19th. Imagine that. The 6th Joe David starts in 20th. 21st Benjamin McKinnon in the 14 machine. The 57 of Russ Endicott starting in 22nd. Rounding out your field here tonight, the 99 of Dylan Walterman.
All right, good to see Albert. America's driver, Albert Anderson's back. He had
the Rona.
Yeah, he had the Rona. I don't know what it was. They're trying to take out a good American like him, I'm sure, but I bet he bounced back. I bet he bounced back with just full force. Be honest with you. Be my guess.
That'd be a pretty good guess here as everybody gets all lined on up behind the pace car. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and joining us here on this Monday evening. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And if you do enjoy any of the racing action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well so we can continue to grow this fantastic community. Get ready to round out of turns 3 and 4. Pace car is going to be making that dive off down onto pit lane, which means it's up to PJ Cox and Justin Lawson to get this party started here. As everyone's still all lined up side by side by side, they go into that Geico restart zone and off and running. Green flag racing here from Atlanta. Big shove there from the 3 to the back of the 98 of Connor Leach, getting that bottom line up and running here early as they stay side by side. Top line not quite yet organized, but they're trying to gather up that momentum and make their way back on up to the front. Meanwhile, that bottom line continuing to surge ahead, but here comes that 20 of Justin Lawson finally getting on up into speed. But there goes the 3 machine looking towards the outside. Oh, the 7 wanted to go up there with him. He gets stuck in the middle. We got one spinning on down. Oh, man.
Anderson's going to spin onto the pit lane.
Ooh, there's another one in the grass, but Albert hung on to it. He'll be fine.
Oh, they're wrecking. The 6 involved. Caution's out.
Behind him, not fine.
Man, it was the wreck that just kept on wrecking as we find ourselves with a pile of bumpers here in turns 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and take a quick look back at what happened here for our first yellow flag, and I think we got to rewind this one all the way back to when Albert ended up going down into the pit lane here, as it looked like the 7 of the Trister kind of got stuck in the middle here. Anderson with a run on that bottom side, gonna be trying to take it 3 wide, gets onto that apron, which, whew, man, don't want to touch the apron in these cars, and he goes for a little bit of a spinner-rooney, which then caused a little bit of a checkup here. You can see the 2341 and the 19 to go 3 wide, 23 up into the wall, the 48 trying to make some evasive maneuvers here, ends up getting involved with the 33, and then after that it was just a pile up, and man, just everybody kept going.
Trying to drive on that apron, you know, even if you only catch a couple of tires onto it, it can really throw you off, and I think that's what kind of started this whole fiasco.
And
go ahead there, Adam.
no, that quad oval is mean. I mean, it is mean. And then those guys saw a little bit of stuff happening with the Cotton and Anderson, and kind of just went haywire from there. So that's a crazy. When you're at these speeds and you're hitting that quad oval like that, man, it's going to wear these tires out too. So pay attention right there. Rutabaga.
Oh, Davidson 6 machine. He's going to be it's going to be near the back end of the field now after getting sideways at the front of that yellow flag event there.
Well, at least the good news here, English, is that, you know, this happened early, so anybody that was kind of up towards the front and maybe ends up being towards the back of this thing once when we get restarted, plenty of time to regroup and regather and get everything back to running normal. And you know, it's especially, you know, first you know, a lot of these guys first race back after having that long kind of holiday break. You gotta dust a little bit of that rust off here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I got a couple weeks off, and now these guys get to go in there and knock the rust off and get back to racing again. I'm sure a lot of them have been antsy about it. I've seen some guys online putting together some practice races and stuff, and I'm not sure if a lot of these guys participated in that, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they're all chomping at the bit here tonight.
And so the lights on the pace car turn off, and we get ready to go back to the green flag. We're going to have the 98 of Connor Leach and the 05 of PJ Cox starting side by side once when we head on back to that green flag. And English, you might want to look behind you, because it sounds like you might have an attack clown sitting there behind you or something.
Yeah, my dog brought me a ball and I threw it. Back there whining and acting fool. Frenchies are very insane, I guess.
Well, he sees you with a beer in your hand, and he's probably, where's mine?
Yeah, he loves beer, and he loves to sleep until you're doing something, and then, oh, throw the ball for me. So now he's bugging me.
What? What happened? The dog?
Yeah, talk about his dog.
Yeah, well, welcome to
I
the
missed
show.
it. Well, our Cancer Queen is calling. You know, there's a lot of stuff happening around here.
Yeah, you got a full plate over there, buddy.
Yeah, COVID Queen to Cancer Queen. I really think she shouldn't have gone to those 2 Trump rallies. I think they gave her something radioactively. Mhm. Yeah, I think so. But all good. So let's get back to racing.
Definitely a possibility here as the pace car gets down and out of the way, and here we go once again. Green flag racing from Atlanta. Much better restart here for that outside lane. Staying well together is the 05. It looks like that's going to be the 20 of Lawson, giving PJ Cox that little bit of some help up here on the front row. But man, that inside line as we hit that green flag just gets off and running. Here comes the 2 of Jim Ott. He saw a hole that needed to be filled as the 98 goes up to block. Ends up, oh man, that was a dangerous situation. Now the 2's up against the outside wall. Little bit of a bump there. Able to get back down off of it. Looked like we might have saw the 98 of Connor Leach gets stuck in that sucker hole there in the middle, but he ends up being able to get out of it a-okay. And we get our first official full green flag lap in.
Yeah, it looks like initially the outside line had a good jump, but inside line just left them. And then they started moving up to the outside and taking up that space. So I'm not sure how that's going to work moving forward. I would much rather start on the inside line where I know I got some, starting momentum there.
I think this is one of those tracks here, Mr. English, that we've been seeing more and more. Ooh, as we got one hard up against the outside fence, and we got more spinning.
Wrecking.
Oh man, Albert Anderson
Pile
up against the outside fence. The 57 of Russ Endicott all spun about, missing a few bumper pieces, and looks like we got a few others that maybe have some engine issues or something. But we got ourselves a second yellow flag.
Brandon Coleman right in the middle of that pile up there.
Yeah, just like a super speedway too. You're seeing these big crashes, high speeds, close quarters.
Yep.
Not disappointing so far. They'll get it straightened out, I think. They're just kind of feeling each other out here. This is the second to last race, so I mean, there's points on the line. People are racing.
That there is, and the 19 just getting a little bobble loose there before it finally snapped out from underneath them. Gets down into the 12 and then right back up the racetrack. It ends up being 4 wide there for a split second, and everybody getting sandwiched against that outside wall. And then, these cars that are so difficult to drive and so difficult to save when you get into a dangerous situation like that, just adds up to the scrap heap pile.
I want to thank everybody for joining us out there in the YouTube channel here tonight. We've got 13 watchers out there. We sure appreciate each and every one of you. Josh is out there saying, let's go Skylar, Connor, and Tristan. Shugu, of course, out there racing here tonight. And Josh saying, let's go. Wind them up, baby. And we're over 500 subscribers now. 532 subscribers officially here tonight. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and ring that notification bell if you want to be alerted of maybe some off-schedule racing that we do. We do it every now and then. So far, not a groaner here tonight. It's been pretty exciting here at Atlanta.
And you're talking about hitting the bell and stuff. Make sure you hit the bell. It's not the one that the politicians hit, the one that takes them to an island somewhere on some pervert's plane. No, this is a different thing. This is about racing and a real community of Americans here. We like racing and having a good time. We're not flying to some island.
There was a bell for that?
Kids. Yeah, you hit the bell, I think, and the guy would come pick you up in his jet. And then he'd give you basically whatever you wanted, I think. And there's videos of it. Pretty disgusting.
I want some banana bread. I mean,
What?
I just want some banana bread. If somebody's gonna come pick me up in a plane, just have me some banana bread ready.
Why do you want banana bread? What the heck? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, you see, they'll bring you whatever you want.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're just ordering,
A glass of milk and some banana bread.
down there here in Dallas area, they have the drones are dropping stuff now from the Walmart.
Get out of
So
here.
I don't.
Are they really
yeah,
doing that?
in Frisco, yeah. Now listen here. It's not going to be like that island, the Epstein's drone. They're not going to be able to drop you something illegal. I don't think that's the way it works. You got to order like milk or some cookies or something, and it'll.
Here, dude, it's Texas. It's skeet shooting with prizes. That's what this is.
Oh, so you just shoot it down and take the
Well,
bounty?
Yeah, why not?
Well, it just seems rude. But it is Walmart. I mean, the big conglomerate. They're not going to lose any money off of
I'm
it.
not gonna miss it all.
Well, I don't
Shooting with
condone.
prizes live in Texas.
I don't condone shooting shotguns in a major metropolitan area. It's probably frowned upon in Frisco. Yeah, you'll probably. That's not gonna last. That's not gonna happen.
You gotta use subsonic or some kind of a wrist rocket or something. could take down a drone without a gun. Just
We're going to
saying.
use a blow dart or what? What's wrong with
Pace
you?
car is down on the pit lane.
All right.
And that indeed it is, as we get up and ready to get back to full speed here once again with the 3 and the 98 getting things started off side by side. 7 to Tristan Cotton up behind the 3, and well, it was the 2 of Jim Ott up behind the 98, but it looks like maybe the 7's trying to leave a little bit of room for the 98 to slide on down into line, get those Beer Money Racing crew all together, and they're slowly trying to get their way, but the 2 of Jim Ott trying to play a little bit spoiler action here as he quickly closes that gap up to the back bumper of the 98 before heading, well, he was peeking at maybe taking it 3 wide. Again, Atlanta, not the most wide track in the world. 3 wide's going to be very difficult to take around here, as the 05 PJ Cox just kind of spending and waiting and biding his time, waiting to get a good run here to get back on up to the front. The 1 of DW going side by side with the team of Goats. Got Durkee and Lawson all teamed on up, ready to try to make their drive up here to the front. Chris Klein, Scott Milner, and Zeth Hawley as well, hunting to get their way up into that top 10.
Adam Strom out there on the YouTube saying, "Hey there, fellas, how is everyone? Thank you for joining us there, buddy. Good to see you, brother. Happy New Year."
Is he in his ice castle yet? Is it that time of year?
Oh, I bet it's cold enough.
Well, you know what? I was talking with him the other day while we were on the Jimmy farm, and it's been so warm up there he hasn't been able to.
What?
See, you guys are getting all the cold temperatures as here we go, going 3 wide for a split second here. The 2 looking to the far outside lane and the 7 all the way down at the bottom. But yeah, they've been having up there in Minnesota, Wisconsin, the same kind of weather we have, where it's been very, very warm.
Well, we need Bill Gates to do some cloud seeding, cool the earth, Thank God for Bill Gates.
Ooh! 7 of Tristan Cotton trying to get it all wrangled back together before finally spinning on out down there on the apron. Thankfully, looks like he was the only one involved in that, as everyone's able to check up in time. But kind of looking back at it, watching the 7, he was all over that apron, and I was wondering if he was going to be able to hold it.
Still brought out a caution, even though he was kind of down below that striped line. That's still a legal racing surface, I guess, is the reason iRacing went ahead and threw that caution. They didn't really throw the caution until most of the cars were passed.
Well, iRacing does some goofy stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think with all these cautions, you could push it a little bit farther than lap 40 for tires. Now fuel, that's a whole nother story. Still probably could push it a little bit, I think.
And I think most of these drivers will probably take their tires on lap 40 still, just try to keep them as fresh as possible. But it's like you said, it's really going to be the question on fuel. And we've been seeing some guys like Scott Milner, Joe Thompson, Sean Roberts. They've been coming in and out pretty much very consistently with these yellows. So I think they're just trying to make sure those tanks are all topped on up. But while we have this little caution, we can go ahead and say a big thank you to #StubNation, who is not out here tonight, unfortunately. But a big thank you to the Stubble Fields for sponsoring the cautions here.
Yeah, thank you, John Peavy, for joining us out there, saying, "Take it to him, Welch." Oh, Derek Welch with a fan out there. Thank you for being here, John Peavy. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, he's got fans now, huh?
Yeah, he does.
Good.
Get run over by a forklift, all of a sudden, you got friends out there to support
Maybe
you.
it's part of the
that'd be a
nursing
great
staff.
thing. It might be his physical therapist, or his
Yeah.
what do they call the people that make the prosthetics for you? One of those guys.
Engineer? I don't know what they call it.
I don't know.
Now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
But that's fine.
I'm sure it was going to be profound. Whatever you were going to say was going to change my life.
I don't.
Be so profound.
I think you're mocking me at this point. I just try to keep you, engaged with the world around you. I don't want to, you to be a lemming or a sheeple or anything. I want to try to train you to use your independent brain, as small as it is, to gather the information.
Derek Welch just wrote "wow" in the chat. Sorry, buddy. We kid because we care. We really
Is
do.
that how that really works?
It is. He's in 5th right now. I mean, it's whatever we're doing out here in
Working,
YouTube
right?
land is, yeah, it's working. We're helping along with this great motivational.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of motivation here.
Can't believe he hadn't fired us already. As much crap as we talk. It's just terrible.
I know we pushed the
We're
fine
terrible.
line.
We're terrible people. Making fun of them.
I know, that's the crazy thing is you tiptoe the line and then you somehow manage to pick it up and move it so then you can get even closer. I don't know how you
And
do
then we
that, Turner.
stomp all over it. I don't know.
Me? And I don't do that. That sounds like an English deal. Oh man. Yeah, we have fun doing it. I think everybody gets along and they like our our stuff, Especially during cautions like this. If we're having some cautions, we're gonna try to have some fun with some other goofy stuff.
As the
Nothing like flying to an island or anything, secretly, covertly or anything, but we're gonna have fun.
that we will with the 3 of Skylar Herod and the 98 of Connor Leach. Getting the party restarted here as the pace car peels off down onto pit road, and here we go. The 3 wasting no time, jumping out to a great restart here and moving on up in front of the 98. That's leaving a hole for the 2 of Jim Ott to try to slide his way on through on the bottom side. And we've seen so far on these restarts, that bottom line really gets a good run here, especially for at least the first lap. So here comes that 2, almost making some right side romance there with the 98 and the 3. The 1 of DW trying to get on up there to help him and try to get a big run going here as we all get stacked back on up. Side by side they go, making another way around the racetrack and across that start finish line. Here, lap 20 out of 120, so about 100 laps left to go here this evening.
Making a narrow track even more narrow. But trying to make it 3 wide, that's difficult to do here in Atlanta. And make it stick and stay off of everybody. But whew, this is getting good, boys.
You ain't kidding as we jump on board here with the 48 of Seth Hawley, who had a little bit of a checkup, and they're wrecking in front of him.
That's the leaders.
Yeah, right there in the
man,
quad
this is
oval.
the big one.
Dangerous. Yeah. The quad oval is dangerous.
Oh my goodness.
Ain't kidding. While we were riding there with the 48, it looked like the 51 of Chris Klein just kind of slid into his DMs. Go ahead and
Able to make it through there. Go ahead.
go ahead and take a quick look-see back at what happened up there up at the front. Coming out of turns 3 and 4. Oh, the 2 and the 3 just getting a little together. It looked like the 2 kind of drifting up the track before finally getting spun across the 3's front bumper. 3 really couldn't go any higher. He was up against the outside wall as it was, and then everything kind of bounced off the wall and straight back down the track. 1 of DW did some good evasive maneuvers trying to stay out of this, and then it was just all hands on deck as everybody was wrecking through the infield.
That's what it looked like. The 3 was up as high as he could go. And it looked like he made a left turn a little bit right there at the end. That was to avoid hitting the outside wall as it was coming towards him. I hope the 2 didn't think that he was turned. The 3 was just trying to stay off the wall.
I think he's gonna have to go back and look at it.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. Before you get too mad at something, you might want to watch a replay. I don't really know.
Oh, these guys are going to go back and look at it. I'm guaranteed.
I'll tell you, man. That corner comes up tight.
It does.
The quad oval, man.
And
Very
Adam,
scary.
it's the same thing as Charlotte And the same thing at Texas.
Right.
When you come out of turn 4, that wall angles towards you as that quad oval portion starts. Coming out of 4, going into the quad. And it just seems to kind of come out of nowhere. You really got to be ready for that and check your left side and make sure there's nobody there.
Right. Yeah, especially, and this track is faster. You know, they're running higher speeds here.
Sure, yeah.
And this car is hard to handle. Don't forget that.
I think that, I don't know, dude. I think Skylar Harrod, I don't think he could have really done anything different there. He's trying to stay as high as he could. Man, I just him and Jim Ott got together there, and you hate to see that, especially in the front of the field, you know, where you got so many drivers right there behind them. They're going to have to check up and try to dodge the mess. But some exciting racing here. What, 20 laps in? 120 lap race.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Caution came out at what, 21, 22, something like that?
Yahtzee.
My goodness.
Yeah, you ain't kidding here. So get everybody all stacked back up and racked on up. We saw there, kind of towards the tail end of it, the triple O of the double O of the single O. Mr. Joe Bennett made it on through, and he's now up into 5th, up 9 spots on the day. 14 of Benjamin McKinnon as well in the 14 machine, up 17 spots, going to be restarting here in 4th. So we do have a few people that are trying to keep it clean out there tonight, and they're making up some spots for it.
Seth Hawley was right in the middle of that wreck. We were live with him, and you saw him kind of trying to dodge a lot of the mayhem there, and could have been a lot worse for the driver of the 48. Seth Hawley will stay on the lead lap here. He'll restart in about 19th place, looks like.
Something like that. We still have some people making some last-minute pit stops and what have you, as it looks like they're going to add another lap of pace in here just to get everybody all sorted out.
Okay. I was wondering what happened there. Paul Durkee on the radio saying, hey, well, what's with the delay here? Why are we making another lap under caution? I think there was a car stopped up on the track. Okay, that was the deal. 33 Sean Roberts was stopped on the track, so they extended the caution. He wasn't just stopped on the track, he was trying to let people around.
Ah, okay. The good old Ireson telling you that somebody's got to get around you, but they're 3/4 of a mile away still.
Yeah. I mean, there's no real foolproof way to fix all that. You just kind of have to use your best judgment and then sort it all out with flag clearings and stuff later.
As the lights on the pace car do officially turn on off, and we get ready to head on back to this green flag. The 3 and the 05 getting the party restarted here up at the front. Right behind him is going to be the 1 of DW and that 14 of Benjamin McKinnon. And Joe Bennett, Scott Milner, Tristan Cotton, Paul Durkee, Brandon Coleman, and Jim Ott make up your current top 10.
A little bit smaller field here tonight, but the guys putting on a pretty good show and getting plenty of crowds of cars out there, even though we don't have 40 cars.
Excuse me. That indeed, as the car, the pace car comes off down onto pit road, and here we go once again. The 3 getting a great restart. The problem is he's got 0 help behind him. 05 of PJ Cox, if he wanted to, he could dive on down. There's a gap the size of Texas up here between the 3 and the 1, and he will go ahead and fill up that spot. The 1 machine trying to get the momentum all built on up. The 2 of Jim Ott looking down low, taken to the apron just a little bit, maybe trying to peek around, see what's going going on in front of them before making any final decisions as we get back to green flag racing here with this Num Thumbs Racing League penultimate race of the season here at Atlanta. Dylan Walterman in the 99 making some moves down there on the bottom, trying to move his way on up to the front. Meanwhile, up at the front, the one of DW jukes around the triple O of Joe Bennett and now looks to try to make his way around the 05 of PJ Cox and the 3 of Skylar Herod.
A lot of side-by-side out there tonight. Here we go. Looks like we got a pass for the lead about to happen.
Oh, as it's happening, the 2 of Jim Ott gets a little loose, takes down to the apron, able to get it all collected back up. Great save there by the 2 machine. And he's going to lose out on quite a few positions. However, he does not have a wrecked race car, so great save there by Jim.
He went down on the apron, plenty of room down there to get slowed down, get corrected, get that car straight, and get back up on the track. But Derek Welch challenging for the lead here with Skylar Herod in the 3, running that inside line. Both drivers with a couple of cars behind them here, but they're kind of fighting on their own up here up front.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, the 05 given some space. Same thing with the 19 behind the 1 machine here. So, it like you said, it's just kind of like a 2-car race up here. Up at the front, really not a whole lot of help being gained from either line, but here we go. The 05 starting to close things on up to the 3, and you can see the 3 start to edge his way on back forward and try to get in front of that 1, but again, that run kind of losing its momentum there on the outside lane, coming in and out of those corners.
That kind of peters out when you really want that momentum to stay with you. Side draft may be the solution here. It's hard to get close to these other drivers when you know that we've had some contact and some incidents here so far, but it's really, really tempting to do everything you can. I think we're seeing a little bit of that. I think we're seeing the 3 and the 1 kind of run up close on one another's quarter panel there and throw a little downforce down.
And kind of like Hugh and Turner were alluding to on one of those last cautions was, watch out for, that apron as the 99 just clips the apron a little bit. He goes for a little bit of a spin, trying his best to hang on to it. Gets as close as a sheet of paper to that inside wall, but able to keep that nose pointed in the correct direction here. So we remain green flag racing.
Yeah, and he already is a few laps down here. He's trying to stay with the pack here to prevent himself from going any further laps down, but Albert Anderson, rough night here for the 99.
That was Dylan Walterman. As the triple
99, I'm sorry.
The triple O Joe Bennett does pretty much the same thing, getting a little loose in the middle of the corner and has to take to the apron to get that thing all collected and saved. So it's pretty much like a 5-car sprint up here at the front for the time being. We still have the 98 of Connor Leach kind of lurking in the background here, trying to slowly make his way back on up. Same thing with the 2 of Jim Ott. They do have the draft, so they're going to be able to probably close that gap pretty quickly here. The 23 of Mark Collins, he's trying to stay within that 1 second barrier here as well. You got the 33 of Sean Roberts and the 14 of Benjamin McKinnon, Chris Klein, and Tristan Cotton, all working harder than the real Mrs. Poindexter to stay with these leaders.
Skylar Herod and Derek Welch have swapped positions here on the track. And, Derek is now running that outside line, and Skylar Herod and the 3 machine run the inside line. One thing that hasn't changed, Skylar Herod, the faster of the 2 cars here so far here tonight. And Vincent Short, thank you for being here, buddy. Saying what's up, fellas. Thank you for joining us, buddy.
Glad to have you out here with us there, Vince, as we remain side by side for the first couple of rows. Ooh, almost looked like the one of DW snagging the outside wall just a little bit there, trying to get as wide as possible to get a good corner entry here up on that high side, but slowly making these runs. Man, it's very interesting where I don't know if these guys are purposely laying off each other here, English, but it's really affecting some of these guys and how they pick up some runs. Because that top side, it gets a little bit, and then the momentum goes back to the bottom side, and then it just keeps flip-flopping here.
It's interesting to watch this, the advantage going back and forth, as you mentioned, between the inside and outside.
It's crazy. I mean, they were really racing hard, 2x2, pretty much all the way up front. That's just causing problems.
The front 10 cars or so will kind of that one big old pack, still keeping it mostly too wide. And start to single file out a little bit here.
Yeah, you got to get away from that right side romance. You know, nobody wants the Stephen Hawking special this early in the race.
What is that? What is the?
Well, he liked right side romance. He was on 4 wheels. You know,
Oh,
it was just a different thing. Yeah. Oh, we got problems up front.
Ooh, 19 up in the wall. Oh, and the 98 getting involved in it there as well.
Oh, Derek Welch nosing into the wall there.
Ooh.
Heavy damage to the front of the one.
That will bring out the caution here.
Brandon Coleman took credit for that wreck, saying, "Hey, man, hey guys, that was all on me there."
It looked like it just, man, it was fighting a loose condition going in and out of that corner, and he was doing a good job of saving it. The problem was he just kept drifting up the track while he kept trying to save it. And, yeah, eventually snags that outside wall, 98 of Connor Leach. I mean, kind of coming out of nowhere and getting involved with the one machine.
Yeah, Leach had a heck of a run. He had a lot of momentum, and he swung down to the inside lane there. You know, the stuff that was going on the outside, he didn't really have anything to do
Oh,
with
you
it
know
until he
what?
got right on top of it.
I think there was a little bit of contact as the 13 was starting to get a little loose, kind of, and while trying to check up for what he was seeing in front of him here, and I think he might have just barely got a piece of the back bumper of Connor Leach here, which got him all loosened on up and sent him up the track a little ways.
And these cars are just hard to handle too. You get upset just a little bit when you're looking at stuff like that happen. Of course, you're in traffic. I mean, it's probably the fastest half mile you run here in Atlanta. And it's still hot on the track, so it's slippery, fast, 133 degrees on the track. It hadn't cooled off at all.
If anything, I think it's warmed up.
Yeah, it warmed up
Yeah.
about 8 degrees. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's global warming, man. Everybody knows that. That's why Bill Gates can save us with his cloud seeding techniques and making us eat crickets. Can't wait.
Have you ever eaten a cricket?
No, I ain't going to either.
And especially when they're like, I don't know what you want to say, like air fried and chocolate dipped, they're not bad.
Yeah, you put them on a hook and you can fish.
Well, you
That's
can do
the
that
only thing
too.
a cricket's good for.
Get real food.
Yeah, I'm not eating a cricket, a grasshopper. No, none of that. Nope. Nope.
Vincent Short out there joining us in the YouTube chat saying hopefully be back for next season's Sunday races. Fingers crossed. Saying good Lord, guys, snaking all over the place. A lot of side-by-side, side-to-side movement out there in the field. Fighting the wheel way too much out there, fellas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not an easy track to handle here, Atlanta.
No. Definitely tough with this repave. Some people love it, some hate it. I think we're probably some of these guys may come away tonight hating this thing.
I was a big critic when they decided to do this. I'm like, why are they tearing that up? You got guys that have made careers on tracks like Atlanta, like Kevin Harvick, you know? And I think, you know, Adam, I thought about you when you talk about the Texas redo, you know,
Hmm.
talking about the Jimmy Johnson revision, you know,
Hmm.
because he just won every time there.
He would pretty much lap the field for several years
But they
at
ended
Texas.
when they did it here. They narrowed the track, but they increased the banking, increased the speed. They added randomness to it. I think that was kind of their goal, was to give the fans what they wanted, which was more close quarters combat, more pack racing, and more excitement. And it looks like we're about to go green again.
And that indeed we are, as here we go off and running once again with the 2 starting up here up on that front row. 98 of Connor Leach there alongside him. 51 of Chris Klein getting back up into the mix as well up there inside that top 3, going side by side with that 98. Not a whole lot of help behind the 2 right now. He's trying to maybe sold this one on out and stay out in front of everybody coming up behind him. 23 of Mark Collins up there with the 3 of Skylar Harrod to his outside. Is a little bit of some slicing and dicing from that second row.
Yeah, 51 might as well just stay down there.
Yeah.
Looks like he did.
The 2 taking advantage of clean air. Trouble is, he don't have much help from behind. So here comes Connor Leach in the 98 on the outside, throwing a little side draft down on him too. Veteran move there by Connor. Now he's got help from the rear by the way of Skylar Harrod. So let's see if he is able to clear the 2. Not so far.
And not quite clear. So it looks kind of like we might end up in that stymie situation like we saw with the one earlier on. As man, 13 of Paul Durkee fighting that car there once again, just trying to get that thing pointed in the right direction. Loses a couple spots and did check up Triple O Joe Bennett there for a split second there. Meanwhile, the 2 of Jim Mott finding some run and finding some help here from the 3 of Skylar Harrod, able to kind of jump back out there, out to the front all by his lonesome, until now the 98 and the 3, 2 teammates working well together here. So 33 of Sean Roberts, just gets a piece of that apron, able to get that front end pointed in the right direction. But man, throughout that entire corner, he was fighting that thing.
I thought we were going to have another crash right there. They got real close. Roberts and, who was he with there? I don't know.
I don't think it's far off. He's got Joe Bennett right behind him.
Yeah, Double O Joe, that's who was with him.
Paul Durkee behind them.
You also got that 099 of Albert Anderson trying to get back as many laps as he can. He's about 12 laps down right now, but he's still trying to put in an effort here and try to steal a finish away. I mean, we saw him come back and almost win a race from 2 laps down a week or 2 ago, so definitely don't count old Albert out as we go side by side here with the 2 and the 3 up here up at the front.
Teams around.
Yeah.
Benjamin McKinnon
That was...
actually being scored the 14.
Ooh, and the 57 getting involved in it. Take a look-see at what happened here. Looks like the 57, got loose, went down to the apron, actually got it saved a little bit, and then, oh man. I think that Benjamin McKinnon machine was kind of doing his own thing. He got loose mid-corner as well, and he snags the outside wall before almost like coming off the top rope and frog splashing against the 57. Brings out the caution here. Once again, about 10 laps away from the midway point here this evening.
There's some frustrations, I would say, on the radio right now. Kind of, hey, you see this happen, you need to maybe slow it down type of thing. I don't know what your interpretation there was, English, but I think there's a little some frustrated drivers.
Some drivers out there that are, trying to make some laps and stay out of danger, and saying, hey, if you're having trouble hanging on to it, maybe get away from everybody else. I think that's what their sentiment is. But sometimes it just happens,
Or
You'd
the
be
bag.
riding along, just having a great old race, and car decides to let go on you. It's not always predictable. We've all been in that situation though, where we were the guy that got collected when we were doing everything we were supposed to. And I think we've all been in the situation where we were the other guy that had something happen with his car, and holy crap, I'm sideways. What happened? And you're just trying to stay off everybody and minimize damage. I think I've been in the second situation more than I've been in the first.
Yeah, I think we all have. It's just kind of the way the racing gets done. But,
Especially pack racing, man, when your reaction time is so limited and distances are so close.
yeah, you really don't get much time out here to really do anything. Especially here at Atlanta with a, Daytona for super speedway standards is extremely, extremely narrow. And I mean, we're even smaller than that here at this 1.5 miles at Atlanta. So it's everything's just happening quicker, and you got even less time to react to what's going on.
Right, you are. It's a lot more narrow. And, these cars, we talked about it over and over here with this Xfinity car. It's just less downforce and more horsepower, and it's just a lot harder to handle. It's not going to react the same as a truck or an ARCA car or even a Cup car.
Oh yeah, I mean, even at this point, I think the Cup cars are more stable than these Xfinity cars, and in my opinion,
By far,
seem to be easier, with quotation points around the easier side of things, but easier to drive. It's just a totally different car and style of racing. As the pace car comes down and out of the way, and we get back up and are running here with the green flag once again. The 15, I should say the 14 of Benjamin McKinnon trying to no, that was actually the 19. I got my numbers all mixed on up. Brandon Coleman trying to give Joe Bennett a big push here on the outside lane as the 3 Skylar Harrod starts to break free and clear on through. PJ Cox on that bottom side starting to close up that gap just a little bit here.
Got telling everybody, go around. He's got some aero damage.
Maybe using one of those fast repairs to fix something up here later on. 51 Chris Klein making his way up down onto pit lane as we continue to green flag run here. 7 of Tristan Cotton looking on that bottom side. He's got the 2 of Jim Ott behind him, and now the 19 of Braden Coleman in front of him jumps on down there as the 7 tries to catch up to his BMR racing buddy there in the 3.
Chris Klein was coming down to, I think, serve a black flag. And then somebody cleared his black flags, I think, but not sure what happened there. Looks like he cleared his own.
Ooh, the 2 with a big run gets into the back of the 7 there, getting the 7 a little loosey-goosey, but able to save it and point it in the right direction.
very intense up front here. We might be single file for the most part, but there is some guys making some moves here. Look at Connor Leach in the 98, trying to pass 3 cars in 1 lap here.
Dang near almost
51 lap traffic right here on the low lane. Let's see what he does.
51 Chris Klein after rejoining the track after coming down into the pits. That's going to check up that 98 just a little bit, but the 51 now, he's going to get some help and try to stay onto this lead lap here. He's going to get back out in front. Oh, as the 51 goes around on the bottom onto the apron, able to collect it back once again.
I think he was just trying to get out of the way, but he didn't realize what that transition was going to do when he went down on the apron that started to kick the back end around. I'm sure it woke him up a little bit.
Well, that's the second time he's done that, but he hung on to it both times, so good job for him. But yeah, it seems to go single file for a minute. Now we're back to double wide for the top 10. Looks like pretty fun stuff.
Man, look at that run that Connor Leach just got. He just scooted around Joe Bennett and the 3 pretty easily here. Now the 33 of Sean Roberts kind of saw what the 98 did. He's just like, give me a piece of that. I want to get up here to the front. And he's starting to get a good drive off these corners and snake his way on up here towards the front row.
So now Connor's in the lead right here in the clean air. He's got his, he's kind of cock of the walk, as they say. He can do whatever he wants to up front here. He's mirror driving, is he not, fellas?
Yeah, I think he's kind of blocking and picking lanes, slowing traffic down behind him, kind of just taking whatever he wants right now. Just like the Canadians like to do.
The honey badgers, yeah.
But it's like Herod's got up to him, at least on his door, so we'll see if he can continue the dominance.
Well, it looks like support from the back has not been quite as important as we thought it was. Both drivers with some help from the rear, but not super close pushing help. They're just kind of standing off 10 feet or so. I think we've seen that throughout most of the racing here tonight. Not a whole lot of getting up and smacking bumpers and pushing like we'd see at Talladega or Daytona. This is a little bit different here in Atlanta.
That may come later at the end of the race, or I guess right now it's probably as dangerous as it is. You really don't want to be bump drafting here this early on. It is slippery track, man. There's a lot of action out here tonight.
Man, that indeed there is, as we remain side by side battling for this race lead between 2 teammates, the 3 and the 98. Connor Leach and Skylar Herod going back and forth. Right behind them is the Triple O of Joe Bennett and Sean Roberts in that 33 machine, trying to get some big runs here and make their way on up around these teammates. So I kind of got that line controlling thing going on here, fellas, where we've seen it from Talladega and Daytona and even iRacing Super Speedway, where you get 2 teammates try to get get control of that front row. One person block low, one person block high, and that's Bob she wrote. That's all it is.
Get the teammates up there, try to control both lines, and woo, look at that. Yahtzee, we're at halfway here, folks.
He just called us fools
for a second time.
I thought about saying fools, and then I changed it.
Good job. Well, I mean, you can call us fools, not the fans, not our friends out there. That's fine. I deserve that.
Yeah, but the Yahtzee still stands.
I got that.
Tilo Jim Ott, who's been in and around the action pretty much all race long, side by side with the 05 of PJ Cox right now, trying to figure out a way to squeeze his way on by and up into some of this action going on here up at the front. 48 is Seth Hawley, 31 is Scott Milner, and the 1 of DW, all trying their best as the 1 of DW is going side by side here with the 41 Pablo machine of Chris Gones. who's got some damage to the outside of that race car here tonight, Adam. And I don't know if he's maybe saving that fast repair for a little later on or what, but it's definitely affecting his speed a little bit here, I think.
Yeah, and I don't know if they've used it or not. But I would save the fast repair as well. If you get there you go.
Man. Oh, goodness.
Derek Welch and the 41.
Oh, I think we just witnessed a murder.
I don't really know.
Well, it wasn't on purpose. We'll call it negligent homicide, but...
Yeah, it was some kind of homicide.
Oh, my goodness. Hey. Oh, man. Oh, did that start off as netcode, or was there actually some rubbing going on there between the 1 and the 41? We'll have to jump on up to our chopper here.
41 was just slower than I think the one anticipated. Now, I don't know about the netcode part. My angle is not showing that.
We'll slow this one down to quarter speed, and we'll call it 50-50. I think it was a little close for comfort there.
There was a little bit of netcode. Yeah.
Between the 1 and the 41, and they just got locked on up and sent up to the outside wall.
Well, fast repairs all around if you got them now.
Man, you ain't kidding. And of course, we're just past the halfway point here of this race here tonight, and so still plenty of time for these drivers to try to figure some things out. Maybe come on down, get some tires, get some fuel, do whatever they need to do here to start to figure out a way to close out this race.
Well, it looks like Goins. I mispronounced that, I think. Chris Goins has disconnected manually. I don't know. That's
he might have. I guess he used his fast repair there earlier on, and he's electing to call it an evening here.
Well, he ain't the first one.
I know he is not the first one.
Or the last one.
Nick Biddy, Joe David as well, calling it a early night here, back around lap 20. They've had enough fun for the evening.
Yeah, Albert Anderson is still out there and will get this position on Goins in due time here. Albert's 12 laps down, but he's still racing, so he's going to gain another position here.
Not only that, but give it a couple laps, he'll get around the 57 of Russ Endicott, right around there, his good buddy. And then, he's racing for a lucky dog, and from what we've seen here tonight, 12 more cautions is in the cards here, Turner. I think it's a possibility. He could make his way on back onto that lead lap.
That'd be a real Rona champion. Man, I don't know. But it's good to see him back on the track. This is a good one to get back into if you've been down a few weeks with the sickness. Let's get in here, and it's real racy the whole race, so I think he's seen some of that, being in the wall a couple times.
Did you just say he was at a Disturbed concert?
Was he?
Well, no, you said he was down with the sickness.
That's true. Maybe he was.
He's a rock fan. He likes that rock and metal stuff.
He'd probably understand that. That is a good song. Yeah, he might have been. That might have been where he caught the virus. I don't know. Oh, Albert.
Oh, Albert, as we get all stacked back on up here side by side, ready to get back to some green flag racing with the 98 and the 3, starting things off once again side by side. 33, Sean Robertson, the Triple O, Joe Bennett right behind them. Jim Ott, Brandon Coleman, Tristan Cotton, PJ Cox, Zeth Hawley, and Dylan Walterman make up your current top 10.
There's probably some people out there watching this collegiate football experience tonight. I guess Michigan is playing the Washington State team.
LSU's not playing?
No, sadly. It's a little different this year. Michigan's in it and Washington's in it. It's strange, but...
OU's not in it?
No, well, it's been a... Oh, don't hit me on that one. Oh, it hurts so bad. Here we go, Brown.
Here we go indeed, with the 98 getting a good jump off that restart. The 3 of Skylar Harrod trying to match up to speed to get alongside his teammate here once again to get to controlling both those lanes. But here comes that 33 and the triple O of Joe Bennett locking into their roles as pushers here, making their way on up to those back bumpers and trying to give some shoves. Here comes that 7 to Tristan Cotton. He's done some bobbing and weaving here on this restart to try to get back up to his teammates here, as that top line getting a little bit of a wiggle there before collecting it back before jumping up into that outside fence.
Derek Welch saying he wasn't suspecting much of a run, didn't want to oversteer. He was close to some other cars and they were on ice. Yeah, it was a really, really hot track out here today, and Derek Welch he collected up in one of these last accidents himself.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like. He was just wasn't expecting the run he got, and the slowdown. Looks like the car in front of him slowed down quite a bit. It's a racing deal. Canadian up front, still racing for the victory tonight, and that's skunkworksgraphics.com Canadian Maple Leaf covered machine.
Yeah.
Didn't the Canadians make didn't they used to make like the El Caminos or something up there? What did they make up there?
They made the M100 pickup truck.
Yeah,
The
that's what it
Ford
was.
company had the
Ford.
Mercury M100 trucks were made in Canada in the mid-60s. Same as the Ford F100 here, but it was the Mercury M100. Made to the same specs, same engine, same 240 straight 6, 3 on the tree. For the what's that one? 362 you could get 352 V8.
There's with no computer in the damn thing, you know.
No, it was all points and condenser, and
Yeah, we don't need
You
any
had
more
to
damn computers.
adjust your dwell degrees every time you did a tune-up.
That's fine. I'll take those days.
These top 4 or 5 guys, man, going at it. Within, you could throw a blanket over them.
Man, you are not kidding about that one, as they remain side by side, and we're really locking into some 2 solid rows of racing going on here. Still being led by that 3 and the 98 up there on those front rows, but let's go ahead and jump on board here with that 33 of Mr. Sean Roberts, who's been having a pretty good run here right now, and slowly making his way and trying to do what he can to push that 98 and maybe get some clear air himself here and pop on out to that outside lane. And here they go. They're getting a pretty good run right now.
Coleman pushing on the back side of the double O right here, trying to make something happen that outside line behind Skylar Harrod. Just dead even, it seems like here, the inside and outside lanes for the top 3 rows.
Sean,
There's not much difference at all. Go ahead, Brown.
Sean Roberts with the driver cam on up. Oh, excuse me, I selected the wrong camera. But we also got Connor Leach. He's got his driver camera on up today, so you can see the clean track out in front of him, just kind of focusing on his points. And let's watch the 98. I don't think I've ever seen Connor Leach blink. He might be one of those lizard people.
Sideways. But he's going to stay down low. We're still green here. 2 machines with some problems back in the field, though.
Yeah, he's back on the track. No problem.
Jim Ott, rough night here for Jim.
And that 2 machine's been all over the place here tonight.
And he was leading this thing early, and I think that's where it went downhill up front. Got involved in an incident. Still on the lead lap, though.
That he is. Through Skylar Harrod as well. Got his driver camera on up. And, of course, rounding out your Beer Money Racing crew, the 7 of the Trister, Tristan Cotton, got his camera on up. Just trying to stay focused on the action going on in front of him here. can hear how much he's modulating that throttle, getting in and out of it here, especially going into these corners, not trying to get a too much of a run and really cause a big checkup up there in the front.
So some guys kind of drag their brake a little bit, try to keep that car behind them right on their back bumper here, but that's more...
Oh, the 3!
Oh, no.
Oh, the 7 getting snagged up in it. Oh, and there is the yellow. Little delayed on the yellow there, but we finally do get one. 3 machine getting a little loose. And let's see what happened here. I mean, man, mid-corner, just sliding out from underneath them there.
Just tires.
Oof. It gets down into the 33 and the 7, 48 into the pileup as well. Nowhere to go for the 099 of Anderson. Oh, man.
That was right after we cut away from Tristan Cotton's driver view there. I'm sure he had his hands full at the time.
All right, Skyler's coming down. If he has a fast repair, I think he's going to be okay. He's currently 5th.
Definitely a possibility. It looks like a good amount of people are coming in, maybe taking up some tires and fuel. I mean, we're approaching that lap 80 point where we're thinking they were probably going to be coming down here anyway, so they're able to get some stuff fixed and fuel all topped on off. But Mark Collins, Benjamin McKinnon, and Scott Milner all electing to stay on out here. And Russ Endicott staying on out, but he's also marked a couple laps down here, so he's probably waiting for his pit road to open up for him. But in the meantime, on this caution, go ahead, buddy.
No, I'm just saying, Skyler does have a fast repair, man. Lucky for him. Got new tires, new skin, new engine, new everything. He's ready to go. Currently looking like he's in 7th, so he's going to be sitting pretty, actually, after that.
Seth Holley came down. Looks like he got full service and was getting some repairs done. He's still sitting there, guys. So driving the 48, maybe a little bit more damage than we expected. Maybe already used his fast repair earlier in the race. He's currently still sitting in the pit box.
Man.
And what does
That's
this?
why you save him.
Yeah. And what does this do to the championship? Well, let's go ahead and take a look here as we kind of close things on out here towards the end of this race. We're gonna find ourselves with the final top 10 drivers who will race it on out for the championship next week. Jim Ott currently in the lead for that leaderboard. Seth Holley, Connor Leach, Justin Lawson all fairly secure up there in their spots. But then you start to get on back down to where Chris Klein, Dylan Walterman, Scott Milner, and Paul Durkee are. They are in the danger zone. Chris Goins, who did disconnect, was right there on the south side of the bubble. Unfortunately, he will not be racing for the championship here tonight. DW, Derek Welch, if he can get his laps back, which would be, would be a miracle here. He's about 15 laps down, would probably find a way in. But after that, I really think our top 10 is possibly set here by the looks of things. Paul Durkee and Scott Milner being kind of saved by the bell here in this final race. Or second to last race, I should say.
Yeah, they're doing this awesome points system here, just kind of like old school, the way they used to do it. Yeah, man, it's about consistency. And some of these guys, man, there's some great race car drivers right here in the top 15, but it's guys that get knocked out or something happens to them, or maybe they don't show up this week or that week, and it comes back to hurt them. And it's going to be a great top 10. We're going to see some great racing here in the playoffs as the pace car comes on down.
As the pace car clears the way, here we go with Mac Daddy. Mark Collins getting things kicked on off here up on that front row. Man, he's getting out there like a shotgun, man. Just absolutely putting the pedal to the metal and getting way out in front of the 31 of Scott Milner and the 14 of Benjamin McKinnon, who's slowly filtering his way back through the field as the bottom lane, man, just absolutely picking up a huge run of speed here and making their way back on up to the front. Oh, it's the 98, gets into the back. Oh, man. Gets into the 19 there as well. Joe's trying to save it as best as he can there. He is able to finally get it pointed in the right direction. Man, that 19 of Brandon Coleman.
And McKinnon with a heck of a save as well. And that 14, 15 machine that he's running.
Oh man, a little bit of a rough and tumble ride here tonight from the NTRL Xfinity Series, but we're getting on down to it here inside of 40 laps left to go with the 23 and the 31 side by side. 05 of PJ Cox there up in the action with the 99 of Dylan Walterman, 2 of Jim Ott there. You got the 3 of Skylar Heritage looks strong here tonight. 98 of Connor Leach, 33 of Sean Roberts. Man, oh man, this is anybody's race. As here comes that 05 of Cox, looking on down to the bottom side and able to get the big run around the 23.
Skylar Herod may have used that fast repair. Josh over there in the YouTube asking about it.
Oh yeah, he did.
He's
We'll
got
mention
a
that.
pristine Toyota. His car is flawless, so he had to have used it, I would think.
Yeah. We went through that earlier there. 33. And the number 2 almost got into it. Man. Lots
ain't
of
over
right
by a
back
damn-
romance. No,
Yeah, this
it's
ain't-
not.
It's not over by a damn side up front here. This is crazy. Max in a great position here running that outside line. We haven't seen Mark Collins up here in the front of the field much this season, but it looks like he knows what he's doing here at Atlanta. So looks like he's going around to take this spot away from PJ Cox permanently.
Well, that indeed he is, and he's got some help there from the 99 Walterman, giving him a little bit of that draft assistance up there on that high side. Same thing with the 000 of Joe Bennett. Looks like that top side's a little bit more well organized than the bottom side right now, which is giving them these little bit of extended runs in and out of these corners, and allowing that 23 to stay out in front here for a little bit while longer as we remain green flag racing here from Atlanta. We're going to take a quick step. Well, as I say, that 31 is Scott Milner down onto the apron. Oh, and he's going to try to make use of the pit lane, the grass, anything to get that car pointed in the right direction. He's able to do so and remain green flag racing here from Atlanta. But we'll take a quick step aside here for some sponsor shout outs and what have you, and when we come back we'll have the finishing act here tonight from this Num Thumbs Racing League Xfinity Series race. As we return to the action here from Atlanta in the Num Thumbs Racing League Xfinity Series penultimate race of the season, the 99 of Dylan Walterman has fought and clawed his way up to the front. He is leading this thing with the 05 of PJ Cox right there, hot on his heels. But here comes the 000 of Joe Bennett and the 98 of Connor Leach. Leach has some help from the 3 of his teammates, Skylar Harrod, who, man, we saw just a little while ago have to use that fast repair to fix up that destroyed race car here tonight. The 33 of Sean Roberts as well, fighting his way on up here, trying to get up onto one of these podium positions and try to steal a win away. The 7 in the 2 looking stronger than ever out here, all locked into their respective lines here as we continue to race under the green flag with about 26 laps left to go.
The 2 of Jim Ott just set the fastest lap of the race at 31.204. He's a man on a mission here to try to reclaim one of those front spots here. He's got some traffic ahead of him. These guys are all battling really hard up here in front.
And that they did as we got ourselves a race breaking on out here, battling for this lead. Everybody trying to get whatever positions that they can out of these cars here tonight. Even the 099 of Albert Anderson still out here running. His car is looking a-okay right now, sitting up in this front group. He is back down quite a few laps still, about 12 laps down for America's driver, but still giving in the effort here, trying to pick up whatever positions that he can. It's the 14 of Benjamin McKinnon coming on down into pit lane here under the green flag.
Front couple of drivers are trying to stay in that clean air, help each other here. You know, guys like 000 Joe Bennett, Skylar Harrod, Connor Leach, these guys are really, really hard, aggressive racers here. Walterman and Cox out there just trying to protect themselves right now. Running nose to tail in a lot of cases, and like we've seen a couple other times, like right now, they're kind of splitting up, running different lines, trying to control the front of this race, trying to protect their positions. Stacking up behind them, though, here. How that's going to work. Sean Roberts to the outside, and that 33 machine ran great all night tonight, up 10 spots. So is Joe Bennett. Dylan Walterman, though, the leader tonight, up 22 positions, your hardest charger of the race here so far tonight in that number 99 Toyota.
And having a solid run indeed as we continue to race here under the green flag, coming up on about 20 laps to go. Most of these drivers last pitting back on lap 77 here, English. Do you think they're going to make it to the end on fuel, or are we going to have to see some splash and goes here coming on up?
I think we're going to see some guys that need to stop. I don't think we've had enough cautions here late. Save these guys any gas. I think we're going to see some guys come in for splash and goes. I think most of the field is going to have to come down here. It looks like most of the field pitted last on lap 77. Some guys earlier. So, yeah, I don't think these guys are going to make it on gas. Probably waiting on a big caution here before they come down, but we'll see. We may see some green flag stops here.
And that will be a very difficult green flag pit stops. Indeed, tricky pit road to get down, tricky track to drive at. Here's Plus EV Racing is joining us on out there, saying let's go Plus EV. How bad is Seth Hawley's damage? Oh, and speaking of that caution, 000 with Joe Bennett going around with the 33, and that will bring out that caution. So there goes your fuel troubles out the window.
Everybody gonna come down and get a free spot here. Yeah, Plus EV. Hawley's got a little bit of aero damage up front on his nose. Yeah, that looks like that's gonna affect him some. Look at the rear of the car. Yeah, the rear of the car bashed in pretty tight. So, yeah, 48's definitely got some aero problems. It's gonna slow him down a few miles an hour. here for sure. Hopefully he's able to get in and get that fixed. I'm not sure. Nope, not pitting this time.
Also, while that the main caution was happening, we had it looked like the 2 was checking up, and the 099 of Anderson didn't quite see it. Gets into the back of the 2, sending the 2 up against the outside fence there.
Oh no!
So 2 machine maybe with some heavy outside damage to go along with that. Here we go. We're going to be about 16 laps away from that checkered flag here once we get things going back under the green flag. But didn't look like really anybody came on down to the pits here, English.
So, not only that, but I was going back looking at the footage of the last wreck there. It was once again it was 2 wrecks happening at one time. It seemed like. I don't know how related they were, but it was 2 different things happening at once on the track with different implications. So, this track has really been interesting after the reconfigure that they did to it. So, kind of neat to see this many cars going this fast, this narrow of a speedway. I know it's been exciting for us here tonight. It's been a great race to call.
And I mean, I do miss the old days of old Hotlanta, tire saving, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I understand why NASCAR did what they did with this repave and trying to make it faster, make it a little bit closer race in action. But man, I still think the old Atlanta's just a little bit better.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but you got to question some of the stuff NASCAR does. Like this California thing is a debacle. I mean, we might as well just pull out of California with NASCAR to begin with, probably because they're taxing every millimeter of fuel or whatever the Canadian term is out there. But just some of the stuff it's just like, why are we doing this? This one is probably understandable, like you said, but you still enjoyed the other track. But taking away California and replacing it with a football stadium is probably some of the most ignorant stuff I've ever seen, and I'm disgusted by it.
Yeah. I don't think that's a track they should have ever gotten rid of. Auto Clubs is a freaking amazing racetrack. The old Atlanta, to your point, Brown, I mean, yeah, you had a few guys that really knew how to run it. It was an endurance track, basically. But eventually it would just all go single wide, and it wasn't that much fun to watch here. Looks like we're going back green.
All right, that indeed we are, as here we go off and running once again with about 16 laps left to go. The 3 and the 99 getting things started on off up here, up at the front. Basically, most of the drivers up inside the top 10 did not take fuel or tires or anything this last caution, and they stayed on out asking for that track position rather than maybe ensuring that they were good on the go juice, as the 7 of Tristan Cotton catching on up on that bottom side, being helped by that 48 of Zeth Hawley. So got BMR racing side by side here once again, controlling both lanes here on this restart. Side by side we go back down across the line. 15 laps left to go. But to add to your thing there, Turner, about California, as the 48 trickles on down to the apron. Oh man, oh yeah,
Hold on to it, buddy. Oh, caution's out. We got wrecking up.
Oh man,
that was interesting, the whole scenario there. Connor Leach coming up on the outside too during that.
Coleman and the 30, was that the 33 as well? 33 is Sean Roberts. I think it was also involved in that.
I think so. There was a whole lot going on, and I think it got all started with a little bit of that checkup, as we kind of see. Oh yeah, the 05. So Triple O with Joe Bennett just being the kind of meat in the sandwich there between the 33 and the 05. Gets spun about with the 33, and oh man. Or is that last caution? That might have been last caution. Hold on a second. Yeah, I think that was last caution.
Hard to tell. Hard to tell. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here we go. Here's the main caution. So we had the driver of the looks like the 20 kind of going for a little bit of a topsy-turvy spin behind everybody. Meanwhile, it was 3 wide for a split second there with the 98, the 19, and the 51. 48 getting a little bit loose, trying to hang back on to it. The 51 trying to find some open track to get to. The problem is he goes up a little bit too far. And then after that, oh man, it was just bits and pieces flying everywhere. One of the DW makes it on free and clear. Not that he really has that many bits and pieces left to lose of that machine. But
he's lost quite a few already, hasn't he?
But nonetheless, we got ourselves another caution here, and we're about ready to bring it on down to the final 10 laps remaining here tonight from Atlanta. But kind of back to what I was going to mention about California here, Turner. Have you ever seen Sonoma in the springtime? It looks like a totally different racetrack because everything is green and lush. It doesn't look like a crappy desert.
Really?
Oh yeah, they should be racing that track in like the springtime.
Well, why don't they?
Because it's NASCAR and they're set in their ways.
Just write some letters.
I'm gonna write to them. Do I need to? Do I send back a self-addressed stamped envelope to get a return?
Yeah.
Is that how you do it, or do I send a fax, which is faster?
No, so this is what you do. So you
pigeon.
You address it to NASCAR, but in the sender box you put Alan English, Bossier City, all that kind of stuff.
They put care of whatever idiots now running this track in California. That's what you put.
Yeah.
So I should say idiot, a dear idiot. Right? Is that how I lead the whole letter?
I don't know. Why are we still talking about California? We've got this awesome race in Georgia, and it's almost over. And you're still hung up on this whole, oh, they should never get rid of Auto Club.
Hey, man, we're just trying to conversate.
I know. I was running out of material.
Yeah,
that's when I go on. That's when I go on the attack. I go on the offensive.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
You're very
I'm sorry
hurtful.
for that.
Very hurtful.
I didn't mean for it to be hurtful. Like my run in turn 2 at Pocono. I didn't mean for.
Well, it was almost as bad. Like that's fine. I'm going to forgive you due to the circumstances. But about 14 laps to go, Brown, I guess. So let's see what happens here.
Oh, that indeed they do as we get all lined on up side by side here once again with the 3 and the 7 getting things started off side by side. Well, relatively close side by side. The 3 off with a great restart here. Back down there on the bottom side, getting some good runs. 99 to Dylan Walterman making some moves here as well. It'd be great to see Walterman up there on this podium here. He's been, oh no, the 7 up into the outside wall, able to keep it pointed in the right direction, but that's scrubbing a whole bunch of speed, and he's getting absolutely attacked here by the mob of the field. You got the 12 as well getting up into the outside wall. Joe Thompson, someone's name we haven't really said a lot here tonight, but he's been doing a pretty good job trying to keep that 12 machine clean. He's able to stay up inside of this top 10.
Big one up front.
Oh no.
Oh, and we just got finished talking about the 99. Dylan Walterman backwards and in the wall and missing a few pieces.
What I know, Sam Hill. All right,
Oh, I
That
think
was
that was netcode.
the net code to start it for sure.
So we go ahead, jump on up into our chopper camera, which never lies. Let's go ahead and kind of take a look-see back here. As the 98 look to the far outside lane. 98 bumps the outside wall just a little bit, but again, that really had no... Oops, that was too much. Want to slow it down. There we go. Yeah, 98 gets up into the outside wall just a little bit of a romance kiss right there, and then yeah, the 99... Oh, and then the 3 started reacting to the net code that was getting him loose. Oh man, yeah, and then so 3 with a decent save there. 99, a rough and tumble ride, but yeah, the 3 able to keep it pointed in the right direction. 98 as well, getting through all the chaos and avoided pretty much all the mayhem there.
Yeah. I mean, that was an aggressive move by Walterman there, but I think it was definitely netcode that started the whole dang thing.
I think he was starting to catch it. If it wasn't for the net code, I don't think that would have happened. We've seen net code before, and we said, well, even if it wasn't net code, that still would have been a wreck. I don't think that's the case there. I think
he could have held off. Yes, I agree.
He was already correcting himself, I think, when we saw the net code happen there. So,
and we've seen net code in a few instances tonight. What is the deal?
That was my first one seeing it real time and slowed down and everything. And I could say that was definitely net code.
I was watching from a few cars back in a chase view, and I could. It almost looked like net code off the jump from where I'm my angle. So. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, Skunkworks Graphics Racing saying best racing simulator. I mean, game ever. Freaking netcode is becoming a joke in iRacing. It used to just be at a couple of tracks with the trucks, and now it seems like no racing platform is immune. We've seen netcode with several different platforms at different tracks here now.
Well, I think they're spreading themselves thin too, with all the new stuff they bring out, and they have to adapt and adjust, and all this fancy stuff they got going on at iRacing. Still, the best simulator in the game. Really I think they're bringing back Indy cars, aren't they?
Yeah, eventually. Yep.
Formula, yeah.
I didn't know we could say Indy on here.
Oh well,
we can save it. We can say it. We just can't show it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can't put it on our screen. What's Derek Welch doing? Just he's on the shoulder. He's probably tired.
I think he saw something on the side of the road and went to go pick it up. You ever had that friend that said, "Oh man, there's a boot back there," and he slams on the brakes? You're like,
"Oh yeah,
what the hell
there's a piece of tin roof out there.
I saw a straw hat." No lie, I had a friend of mine, Neil Reese. He both feet on the brakes, slammed on the brakes in his F-150 on the interstate. I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's like, "There was a straw hat in the ditch." Like, you're an idiot. He's like, let's go get that straw hat.
Well, at least my buddies were getting coolers, stopping for a cooler that fallen off, or a 5-gallon bucket.
He was like, "There was a boot back there." I'm like, "Well, where's the other one?" "I don't know. I saw a boot. There's a rubber boot back there on the shoulder." Pace car's down into the pit lane.
Indeed it was, as here we go with about 6 laps remaining. Green flag out there once again with the 3 of Skylar Herod out in front. 7 of Tristan Cotton trying to push his teammate here to a victory. The 05 PJ Cox up there, as well as the 12 and the 48 all battling for possible race wins, but don't look behind them too far. You got Benjamin McKinnon, Justin Lawson, and Mark Collins all within arm's reach. Here, looks like Connor Leach and Brandon Coleman hunting for a win tonight, too. So, 23, Mark Collins up against the outside fence. Oh, no! Big wreck,
wrecking.
13. Oh, 13 in the 23.
It. Paul Durkee wrecked in that deal.
Kind of see what happened here.
It looked like he was just slowing down for the car in front of him.
And 13. Oh, man, having a little bit of a rough and tumble ride out there as we kind of rewind and take a closer look. Yeah, he was trying to check up for some racing going on in front of him, and it just gets him sideways. The 98 was coming through on the bottom side, so nowhere to go from that. Sends the 13 pointed up straight into the fence, and the 23 of Mark Collins nowhere to go. Same thing with the one of DW. Getting involved in that one late there, but the goat patch 13 of Paul Durkee. Oof, a little bit of a rough ending for tonight for him.
Yeah, it's a shame. Mark Collins and DW get involved in another one right there at the end.
Well, then let's remember, we had 3 total sets of tires tonight, and it's 128 degrees in this track, man.
That's right.
Could have thrown an extra set of tires in there just to help it out a little bit, but that's made it a little difficult tonight.
Yeah, that's what Josh was saying. He said, these things are on ice tonight, and there's not a closer comparison. I mean, with the track temps that we saw, we've seen track temps as high as 132, 134, or something like that here tonight.
Right.
Still at 120, 128. That's insane. These these things turn to grease out there.
What about a night race here? They got the lights. Is that possible?
I mean, they do have the lights set up here. You can see them right there.
I wonder if that might be more racy. You know what I mean? A little more control. Some of these guys are just losing control. Yeah, and it's partially the car, of course. Then you have this net code thing going on.
Yeah.
It's hot Atlanta for sure.
And that indeed it is, as we're gonna be heading into some bonus time here for racing. Is this our first attempt, official attempt here, English, or are we getting unofficial?
It doesn't say that this is
unofficial attempt.
Checker. I think it's unofficial because we're already double file, and this is lap 118. So I think we're okay to get another.
And we might. The way this is going.
Yeah, this is unofficial.
And I'm gonna guess we're gonna get another one. It's gonna come from somewhere in the front of the field.
I think we've got 3 possible, right? Officials. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe normally in this league we do.
But this one's going to be unofficial since we're going to.
This is our first
at the start of lap 119.
It's our first race of the year with these guys, and it's been let's shake the rust off here. I think partially it's the track and the car and the heat on the track and all that.
It's been a couple weeks, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it's been a whole year, man.
A whole year. Do you not know how to measure time?
I measure it like the Canadians do.
And we'll have to see, as it's going to be green, white, checker racing to finish this one off from Atlanta. We're going to race and see if these leaders can make it across the line before another yellow flag comes on out, or if we're going to have to re-rack and stack it and do it all again. So it's time to buckle up, strap on those drinking helmets, throw inhibition out the window. Green, white, checker racing here from Atlanta. The 3 and the 7 locked in side by side, getting back into turns 1 and 2. The 3 guiding his teammate around. He's got the 05 PJ Cox there helping that bottom row on out. Same thing with the 48 of Zeth Hawley getting into some of this action here as well, making their way down the backstretch. The 12 of Joe Thompson trying to get his nose into the mix. Same thing with that 98 of Connor Leach. 14 Benjamin McKinnon, and the 20 of Justin Lawson just trailing a little ways behind. Here's the leaders come back down into that quad oval and across the line. We're finishing this one on out. No more cautions here tonight as 7 gets onto the apron. The 48 splits the gap right down the middle, trying to make a big run as we got a drifting car in the backfield, trying to make some ground here, but we're still remaining with that green flag as 48 and the 12 jockey and jive for position side by side. Oh no, there goes the 05 of PJ Cox around, and that's going to cause absolute mayhem behind the 3 of Skylar Herod, who's going to pick up your race win. The 7 of Tristan Cotton trying to finish. He doesn't quite make it. Oh my goodness. Connor Leach able to somehow steal a second spot away from his teammate. The 7 machine, who had no tires left on the front end of that thing, I think still somehow came away with third.
Couple cars flying through the field that I thought were going to make it and get and hit other people. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Tristan got an extra bump from somebody there at the end to push him across the line.
As we see what happened. Oh no, the 05. I don't know what happened with the 05. I think that might have been more net code. It just twitched out from underneath him. It's like in real life you would say, oh, it might have been a blown tire or something, but man, it just stepped out on him, causing absolute mayhem. The 3 just looking in his rearview mirror saying, oh man, I got this one made. 98 of Connor Leach hard up into the outside fence, just keeps his foot in it, because I mean they are racing to the end. Gets some help from some body blocks by the 48 to the 20 and the 19, sending them down and out of the way. 57 gives a huge shove to the 7 to get his nose pointed back in the right direction to get across the line. The 99 of Dylan Walterman, who was laps down, stealing a few positions here coming across the line, and that is how we finish it here tonight.
Parts everywhere.
Benjamin McKinnon in that Carhartt Chevrolet ends up finishing here in 3rd place. Wasn't a pretty finish here, as we had all kinds of crap happening here at the end. Able to come across the finish line in 3rd.
How'd he do that?
Well, on iRacing scoreboard, Skylar Herod, Tristan Cotton, Benjamin McKinnon.
Oh, did Tristan Cotton get affected by a late penalty?
No, he still finished 2nd.
He finished 2nd. Connor Leach is the one.
Oh, Connor Leach got the penalty.
Yeah, Connor Leach sank down. He's going to fish 1 lap down.
Yeah, it's I think your live timing is a little messed up.
Connor Leach said he got too many incident points.
Is that what happened there?
Damn it. Yeah, that's what he just posted.
Oh, right at the end. That's terrible.
So with that, Skylar Herod, Tristan Cotton, and Benjamin McKinnon are your top 3 here tonight.
I don't think we've ever seen that at the end of a race.
Did you see Coleman barreling through at the end right there, just bouncing off of cars, trying to make something happen? I thought Brandon Coleman might have got into the top 3, but he tried his best. But he will end up 4th though.
That is wild.
Goodness.
It's wild. It's a wild one. And I have to run, boys, but it's been fun with y'all. I'll see y'all on the flip. Good race.
All right, buddy. We'll see you in a little bit here as everybody slowly makes their way to the podium here tonight, and that means we can kind of start some of these interviews on off, and we can start them off with, now that we kind of learned what's going on, we can start things off with our 2nd place finisher, the 7 of the Trister, Tristan Cotton, pinballing his way on up there to pick up a podium finish here tonight for that 7 machine, man. It started a little ugly and it ended a little ugly here, but Tristan, you made it somehow work here to pick up that 2nd place tonight.
I didn't think I was ever going to be up here, ever, with the way that's been going. Yeah, man, the team, I'm so happy. I don't know, I don't know, man. It was awesome. Awesome strategy by the team. It all played out. I mean, it was all of us. I'm still speechless, man. It's awesome.
Well, you brought most of a race car beyond the start finish line, which is good enough, and picked up the second place. You started back in ninth. Next week, you guys going to Michigan. That's going to be not entirely completely different than here. It's not going to be like a pack racing track, which you guys dealt with here tonight. It's going to be a little bit more of a skill track. I know you've got the fan base out there. I didn't really see them out there in the YouTube here tonight, but hopefully they'll be back for next week when you guys go to Michigan.
Yeah, my mom and them—they've been busy with my sister and everything, man. And I just
Yeah,
told myself, I was like, I gotta either be on the podium for my sister, man, or take a win for my sister, and I'll take this any day, any day.
awesome, man.
Um,
Congratulations.
yeah, yes, sir.
And it was one heck of a bumpy and wild ride, but he gets it on done. The 7 of the Trister, Mr. Tristan Cotton, finishing on up here in the podium in second. Man, before we let you go, got any shout outs now that you've actually gotten up here
know
and
he does.
got some shout outs to do?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who tunes in every week, man, supports me. All my teammates and everything, man. They make the best strategies. I just hope I pull them off, and we did this time. So, I mean, hey, we're here. So,
Well, awesome job, man. Congratulations on the second place finish. Way to fight through it here tonight. Go ahead and go celebrate it, and good luck coming up next week at the championship, man.
yes, sir. Thank you.
And with that, we'll take a step down on the podium here for a split second and talk with tonight's third place finisher, sneaking his way into that third spot, and your hard charger of the race, up 18 spots on the day in total, Mr. Benjamin McKinnon, driver of the 14 machine here tonight. Ben, congratulations on the sneaking into that podium there. It was a little bit of a rough ride out there for you and pretty much everybody, but it looks like you were able to get the job done. But man, hot track temp out there tonight. You guys were skating on ice, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty slippery. Yeah, definitely lucked into a spot there in the end, and good race though, I guess.
Keep watching that last wreck over and over as you're coming out of turn 4. You can see the finish line, and there's just cars spinning above you and in front of you, and somehow you get kicked around and just stay down low, and you're able to pick up third. Man, congratulations. Sometimes, it's better be lucky than to be the greatest driver in the world, but that's not taking anything away from your performance out there today, man. Congratulations, Ben, and picking up this third. It's a great win for the goats out there. I'm sure the other guys are real proud to have you on the team here tonight.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you to them guys for helping me out so much with it and everything, and you guys for broadcasting the race.
Awesome, man. Well, before we let you go and celebrate that third place podium finish here tonight, you got any other final shout outs or anything like that?
Nope, just I guess to everybody out there racing, thanks for the fun time.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on that podium, man. Good luck coming up next week in the final race of the season, and we're happy to have you up here on that podium there, buddy.
Thank you.
And with that, we move on up to tonight's race winner, and was able to see all that action happen behind him as he disappears into a cloud of dust. Tonight's race winner, the 3 of Mr. Skylar Herod, able to steal a win here from Atlanta tonight, man. Congratulations. I know it's been a long time coming. You between moving and work and a whole bunch of stuff going on for you. You haven't been able to sit down in the rig as much as you'd like to, but man, picking up the race win here at Atlanta must feel pretty good.
Oh, I can't even explain. Like, I'm shaking. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. Like you said, long time coming. I missed the first 2 races of the playoff for not only Xfinity but Truck Series because of work, and then been fighting my way back to try and get a win. And tonight it finally happened. Not just podium or on the podium. I was the guy. It's just, I don't even know. I'm just so ecstatic right now.
Well, congrats, man. I can speak from experience. The life of an Air Force maintainer is not not one that's conducive to being able to do all the hobbies that you want
Right.
and get as much track time as you want. But you definitely did one hell of a job out there here tonight, Skylar, and you fought hard. I mean, you had a couple of guys. I mean, Derek Welch up there fighting you side by side for a while. You had a couple other guys. You know, there was a lot of side by side for the lead stuff that we didn't really anticipate here in Atlanta, and you dominated out there. I called it early. I said, man, he's just got a faster car. He's better at this track than a couple of these other cats, and you pulled it off, man. Congrats.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, Jim, him and I were racing pretty hard. We got into it. I want to go back and look at the replay just to confirm, but I felt like I held my line. But it is what it is on that. When DW's up there racing hard, I was just trying to maintain the best line I could, be smooth with it, to keep the tires somewhat fresh on the hot track tonight. And yeah, a lot of good teamwork from my boys, old Tristan Cotton and Connor Leach, and we were definitely trying to punch my ticket in because the guys were already in the playoff and they were racing hard, I was racing hard to get back in the playoffs, and just the way the cookie crumbled and worked out in my favor tonight.
Well, man, big congratulations to the three of Mr. Skylar Herod, race winner here from Atlanta, man. Before we let you go, you got any final shout-outs or anything like that?
Oh, yes, of course. Always for Skunkworks Graphics for wrapping the car. Does an amazing job every vehicle I ask him to wrap. Skunkworksgraphics.com, if anybody wants to check him out. Highly recommend it. The boys over at Beer Money Racing, like I said, we raced a hell of a race tonight, all 3 of us. Teamwork phenomenal. And I'd like to thank y'all for broadcasting. Always do a great job, and DW for putting on the league.
Awesome job. Yes, sir. Indeed. The three of Skylar Herod, your race winner from Atlanta in this penultimate race for the Numb Thumbs Racing League Xfinity Series, man. Congratulations. Go ahead, go soak this one on in, and we'll see you guys back out in action again next week there, buddy.
I appreciate it, guys.
With that, we close things on down here from Atlanta, and man, English, did it not disappoint? We showed up for a race here tonight, and a hockey game / fight broke out.
Kidding, man. We had a dark horse guy end up in third, a Texas guy finish in second, and an Air Force guy finish in first. So I'm overjoyed. I think it's been a great race here tonight, and we're gonna wrap it on up for the season here next week. And Michigan's always a fun one. Can't wait for that. I know we're gonna have a blast for sure.
Yeah, that'll be a fantastic race, and I mean we've never seen a bad race from Michigan, so
no, never.
So that's going to be a phenomenal time as we wrap things up here from Atlanta. Let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here for the evening. The three of Skylar Herod picking up your race win with teammate and buddy there, the 7 of Tristan Cotton, having a solid run as well, finishing on up there on that podium in second, with Benjamin McKinnon sliding his way across the line to pick up that third place finish. Brandon Coleman in the 19 having a pretty solid run here tonight as well, finishing up there in fourth. Scott Milner in the 31 machine. I was starting to get things together here late before the kind of turn 3, turn 4 chaos all happened. Still a solid finish up there in fifth. PJ Cox, driver of the 05 machine. Man, we thought we were going to be talking to him here tonight, but he drops down into sixth. Justin Lawson, driver of the 20 machine, having a solid run here to finish tonight in seventh. Got the 98, Mr. Connor Leach, with some late penalties dropping him out of that podium here tonight. He's still up inside of that top 10 there in eighth. Triple O of the double O to the single O, Mr. Joe Bennett, finishing here tonight in ninth with the 48 of Zeth Hawley, man. That car was 2 ways to Sunday wrecked and destroyed, but he still fought through it and found himself up there inside that top 10.
11th place, Joseph Thompson in the 12. One of 5, 6 cars that finished 1 lap down. Only 6 cars on the lead lap here tonight, and 5 on the first lap down. 2 laps down here in 12th position, Dylan Walterman in the 99. The 23 of Mark Collins on a lap all by himself here. 5 laps down. He'll finish in 13th place. 14th will be Paul Durkee in the 13. 57, Russ Endicott will finish in 15th place. 16th, Albert Anderson in the 099. The 51 machine, Chris Klein, will finish in 17th place. 18th will be Sean Robertson in the 33. Him and Jim Ott both had great races out here tonight. They'll finish side by side here, 18th, 19th. Speaking of, 20th place, Derek Welch, also with some great runs and just great position up front, battling for the lead, and he'll end up wrecked, finishing in 20th place. 21st, Chris Goins in the 41. Joe David involved in a early wreck. Also, Nick Biddy the same. They'll finish 22nd and 23rd here tonight at Atlanta.
And that is your field here for tonight. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and having a great time out here with us. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And of course, if you enjoy any of the race in action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button here as well. Of course, we also have to say a huge thank you to all our proud sponsors, such as Davidson Builders, DEP Graphics, Sim Gear Central, Trek Bar Media, Martin Sports, and of course, hashtag Stub Nation. Big thank you to all of you guys, because without your support, the NTRL wouldn't be able to put on a great show week in and week out like they do. So big time thank you to all the great sponsors. Well, that does it for us here tonight. We'll be back in action on Wednesday as the Vigilante Racing League flips their schedule on its head, and it's now going to be the Gen 4 ARCA cars time to race around those 2 mile plus super speedways. So we're going to see some absolute craziness come to that, and it's just going to be an absolutely fantastic time. So we look forward to seeing you all over there on Wednesday. Until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and our late Adam Turner. We'll see y'all on the next one.
We go.
See ya.